It's one thing to be suspicious. It's one thing to give someone the side eye, but I always say that the key signifier that something isn't right is when you find yourself in a sense of unrest. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your August 2019 reading. What's going on with you guys, man? Y'all were going ape on Instagram talking about Gemini need a reading. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we're going to use the romance angels to look at the energy between you and your person of interest, and then we're going to go into you guys' cards individually. So we are going to ask Spirit to give us clear and direct guidance for my Geminis. Anything they need to know, anything of utmost importance, I ask that they come to the forefront in this here reading, please, Spirit. And as always, I thank you in advance because I know you're good for it. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what's going on with Geminis. Whoa. Pay attention to the red flags. Ciao. I'm trying to tell you right now. The signs are cautioning you. Whew. Pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention to your intuition, Gemini. I'm trying to tell you. Whatever it is that you think is going on, it may be going on, you know? Because it's just some things you just can't overlook that are blatantly in your face sometimes, you know? I know there's always that thin line between if you are projecting into a situation or if it's really your intuition that's throwing you off. But the thing that I say is, it's unrest. Unrest is the sign. It's one thing to be suspicious. It's one thing to give someone the side eye, but I always say that the key signifier that something isn't right is when you find yourself in a sense of unrest. Like, you're just completely off kilter. Like, can't sleep, you know what I'm saying? Racing thoughts and things of the sort to where your whole day is messed up. That's the kind of things you need to pay attention to. You know what I mean? But anywho, let's go into your individual cards, and I understand why y'all wanted to read this so goddamn bad. Jesus. Clear and direct guidance for Gemini. Please, Spirit. I don't know why, like, suddenly the energy just got buku serious. What's going on with that? We have the Eight of Wands, so we have communication. There may be a need for communication. We're going to pull some more cards and see what's up, but that's my first thought. Pay attention to red flags, but at the same time, there's a need to communicate because things can be easily misconstrued, things can be easily misjudged, and if we're not communicating or being open and fluid about what we're feeling about things, that can end up causing issues that aren't really there. Whew, our challenge is the Star card. So I feel like you're a little afraid. It's more or less, and there's a lot of it that's been coming up this month, is fears of things being too good to be true, right? It seems like you're on a fast track to happiness, and I kind of said this for Scorpio as well, where things seem kind of too good to be true. You know what I mean? So it's like things are moving quickly, or, you know, things are moving forward. Then we have the King of Cups in reverse. Things are moving quickly, or things are moving forward in a progressive fashion. But I think it's more or less because it's an outcome. There's a specific outcome that you guys desire. But there's certain things that come up that put your antennas up, but you're not communicating it. So it kind of leaves you in the state of unrest. So it's more or less like emotional turmoil, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Because I feel like this could, I cannot talk, easily be cleared up via communication. The next card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, which is understandable because it's like you guys are not wanting to invest into something, like put all of your eggs into one basket. But like I've said for all signs, it's a consistent theme that's happening with all signs this month, and it's more or less like projecting past disappointments onto present situations, which I totally get. But that's why communication is so important. It's like nobody wants to waste their time on a situation, but it's like you need to really know what you're dealing with first. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I can't remember, y'all. I've done so many readings. I don't remember who I said that to. But I was like, you could easily make up a whole scenario in your mind of what it is that you think is going on, but until you actually talk to the person, you don't know. And a lot of signs have the opportunity to talk to a person, but they're not because they're thinking about past experiences of talking to people that they were dating and how they responded, but we're not talking about the same person here. And then we have the Knight of Wands. And then the Two of Cups. Y'all, let me tell you something. Whew, sweet baby Jesus. All right. So when it comes to whoever it is that you guys are dealing with, I feel like y'all are in a state of emotional unrest because it's thinking end goal. You're thinking of how things are progressing now, right? You're thinking about how you want things to be in the future. There's little things that are coming up that are throwing you off presently, that are leaving you in emotional unrest, and it's because you really want the partnership. I feel you on that. But it's like, I feel it's almost like well, let me rephrase that. I don't want to say a misjudgment of the person. It's just the fact that you can't make a clear judgment on the person. So it's a reluctance to invest, you know? But I feel whatever it is, whatever these red flags are, whatever it is that's causing you guys unrest, you know what I mean? And another thing could be that you could be dealing with someone who's, I don't want to say like a celebrity per se, but you could be dealing with someone who's well-known, like locally well-known, or somebody who's in the public eye or something of the sort. You know what I mean? And that can make you feel a tad bit insecure because it's the thought of this person potentially being like a player type of person because they have a lot of, you know, attention that's on them, or they deal with a lot of people, work with the public or something along those lines. Then we have the Ace of Swords in reverse for your person of interest. So there's a lack of clarity on their end. See why that is. We have the Three of Wands in the reverse. We have the Page of Swords. And we have the Six of Pentacles. So what it's looking like for me is there's a lack of clarity on how this person wants to move forward. You know what I mean? But on their end, I'm seeing that as an idea. It's something that they're desiring. They're wanting something that will move forward and be reciprocal. It's like they would want to invest in it. But the thing that I'm seeing is that this person wants to be in control of that. So it's more or less like, and this is interesting, because this is interesting to me because so far with your person of interest, I can see that y'all are in two different places. So it's almost like Gemini. It's like Gemini is like, okay, this is what it is. This is where I see this going. What are we doing? Type of deal. And it's a lot of that I've been feeling this month. Now with this person, I feel like they have an idea of what they want this to be, but they really don't know just yet. You know, and this can go one or two ways because it depends on how long you and this person have been dealing with each other. Because this person, they could see themselves investing a little farther in the future, but as it stands now, they're not really sure. Right? Now, that could be for, like I said, one or two ways, because on Gemini's side with the Eight of Wands, I can look at that as this moving really quickly, especially with the Knight of Wands being here. It can be like, I see where I want this to go and it's trying to rush it to get there. You know what I mean? But then with this person, it's kind of like, I'm not really sure where I see this going. But it's like, idea-wise, I could see myself investing in it. But it's kind of like, I haven't had enough time to really say where I see this longevity. And I think that's interesting for two people who are dealing with each other to be in two very different places. It's kind of like Gemini has already made their mind up of where they see this future tense. And they feel like it's not going in that direction, which is causing the unrest and making them want to kind of renege what it is that they've put in so far. But this person coming into it is like, I really don't know where I see this going, but it's a nice idea, something I could see myself investing in. So that's interesting that the two of you are on two different pages. Now, putting that within the context of paying attention to red flags, what would make this a red flag is contingent on how long y'all have been dealing with each other. If you and this person have been dealing with each other for 3 to 6 months, and they still don't know where they see this going, and you know where you see this going, that's a problem. If y'all been dating a couple of weeks, then okay, maybe we need to pump the brakes a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? But it depends on the specific situation here. And that it's all about time frame. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know why. It's like I feel like a shortness of breath and nervousness. That's what I feel. Like being on nerve's edge on some stuff. Because I kind of feel like, and me just being real, Four of Pentacles. They're holding back. Dude, yeah, see? Because look. The vibe what I get with this on Gemini side, it feels like, it's, oh my God, Siri is doing it again. We're not here for this today. But it feels like, it feels to me like, I'm sorry, y'all. My computer has been going haywire. And I'm just trying to make sure that everything is up to par. But anyway, what it feels like to me is potentially that Gemini could have counted their chickens before they hatched and kind of went all in too early. And it's kind of like the fear of not getting a return on what's been invested up to this point. So kind of like Gemini getting ahead of themselves. You know what I mean? So now it becomes a thing of where this unrest and anxiety and all these red flags are coming in the fact of it being a fear that your hopes won't be fulfilled. Because, like I said, it's kind of like counting your chickens before you hatch. You know what I mean? Putting all my eggs in one basket. Like, from day one, I feel like, oh, you know, everything's going this way. And it's kind of like with the person, they're kind of taking stuff a day at a time. Not saying that they wouldn't want to invest in it. Not saying that they don't see a potential of investing in it. They do. But the person is holding back because, like I'm saying, y'all are in two different places. Y'all are in two different places, but this is really contingent upon the person who's watching this. It really depends on how long you and this person have known each other. If y'all been talking for a month, I can tell you now you're way too ahead of yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's not long enough to be talking about how it is that we're moving forward. Because for your person, they're not clear on that. With the Page of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, in an idea sense, like in an idea seed that they could see growing, it's like, yeah, I can see myself investing in this. But it's like this person is very much in control of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to open up. So it's like I'm kind of seeing two different figures here. I'm seeing someone who, I mean, it's literally two people mirroring each other. It's kind of like, I'm thinking of like an illustrated way to explain this. It's kind of like if you have this card, right? So you have Gemini that's a merchant. You have your person of interest that's a merchant, right? The way that Gemini approached this situation was, instead of being like balanced in how they were giving, like they took everything that was in their storehouse and they just put it like in big old stacks and was like, take what you want whenever. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's everything that I have. You know what I'm saying? But for the person of interest, it's almost like they're giving out sparingly. It's like each day you can come get a coin, because I got to make sure things stay balanced. I got to make sure I give myself energy. I got to make sure that I give you some energy. I got to make sure that I give my job some energy. So it's like this person is being very calculated on how it is they're investing their energy. And with the Eight of Wands, it feels to me that Gemini got kind of caught up in what this could be and kind of put everything in up front. And now because the person isn't really matching where you're at, that's where that red flag feeling is coming from. But there's not really anything wrong. You know what I mean? It's just more or less like being triggered because it's a fear of like, oh no, did I give too much? Whatever that is, whether it's time, energy, and effort. If you cut off your side chicks and side dudes or something, I don't know. Whatever it is, I feel like the fear that's rising up is not necessarily because the person is doing anything. It's just that it's a fear that they're not going to reciprocate. But it's like how this person, and that's what I said, the only thing that's going to be the determining factor for this is how long you've been talking to the person. Like I said, it's 3 to 6 months. If you've been talking to someone for 3 to 6 months, now is the time to ask the question of, okay, where is this going? It's not wrong to ask that at a 3 to 6 month mark. If you've been talking to a person consistently, y'all been sleeping together, going places, doing things, you've been sleeping at each other's house and things of the sort, you know what I'm saying? At a 3 to 6 month mark, it's okay for you to ask a person, where do you see this going, right? A lot of people are afraid to ask that, but that's your timeline point of when to ask that question. If it's been over 6 months, if it's been a year or longer than that, and this person still hasn't told you, and they're looking like this, that is definitely a red flag. If y'all have been talking for 2 weeks, no. If y'all only been talking over the internet, no. If y'all only talk through text message, no. You know what I'm saying? Y'all only been talking for a month, no. You feel me? Like this person being in this mindset, if y'all only talk on the internet, if y'all only talk through text, you ain't never been nowhere, or you've only been dating, you know what I mean? Like going on dates, like 2 dates or something like that, in the matter of a month, then your person of interest is in a normal headspace. Because I cannot project where the hell I see myself being with you when I really don't freaking know you. Because I've been talking to you for a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little too early to tell. But this over on this side with Gemini would be like a fanciful type of thing. So that's why I say this can go one or two ways. That's for people who has been short term. If this has been longer, like 3 to 6 months or longer, then your person of interest is in the wrong headspace. It's like by now you should have some type sort of concept of what it is that we're doing here, and they're just holding back. You know what I'm saying? It's still on the fence on whether or not they want to invest. So that's something that Gemini is going to have to figure out based on your own personal situation, is what the time frame is. You know what I mean? Let me pull one more card for them. And we have the 7 of Cups in the reverse. So, yeah. Now, here's the thing I'm saying. If this is somebody that y'all have been talking to, like I said, it's been a month or it's not been in real life, like it's over the internet, text, whatever, I feel like over time, this person is going to get pretty clear on what it is that they want to do. But the key is here is time. It's nothing to worry about. It's just time. You feel me? But, when it comes to my people where this has been longer than 3 to 6 months, I think that this person too, it still kind of looks like they would get clear as well. They may have, dragged their feet, but I still feel like with y'all, it kind of requires communication on your end. Like, for my people who have been talking for longer than 3 to 6 months, if you feel like this person isn't moving forward, now is the time for you to blatantly ask them, like, where do you see this going? Because I know a lot of times people are afraid to, ask that because it's like, oh, I don't want to force a person into a commitment and this and that. But truth be told, it's like, you don't want to waste your time. But, I mean, in the matter of like 3 months to 6 months, a person should have a general idea on if they want to commit to you or not. You know what I'm saying? And you make your decision from there. But in the extended, I'm going to look more into this and see what we can find out. If I can get some more details and whatnot. But as for now, am I missing a dice? Yes, I am. Go ahead and ask a yes or no question. Go ahead and toss out the dice of resonance. The answer to your question is yes. We have Bae, Lover, Partner, Sagittarius, and Virgo, and Moon. So, yes, Bae, Lover, Partner, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Moon. Now we're going to toss out the dice that have no name yet. We have the number 10, we have Pisces, and we have North Node. Man, what's really going on in America? Let's see, North Node. You're now learning something new about your destiny, where you're going, what you're developing that you will carry forward. Your legacy. Number 10, the major arcana that you would meditate on this month is the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. Take time to do a personal review of your journey so far. Remember, success is seeing where you were and where you are now, and what you did to get there is the definition of success. And in the extended, we're going to look at the meaning of the Pisces South Node and North Node. and go more into these cards. But Gemini, that has been your reading. I hope that has been helpful. I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner.